Hello, this, our second class, is more about seeds. I'm Nina Karavasilis, your teacher at the Warner Hub. These are some of the ways to get seeds. You purchase them from a large company, like Burpee. You can get them from a small local company, like San Diego Seeds. Some libraries have seed exchange, where you take a packet, you grow it out, collect some seeds carefully from the plant, and bring it back to the library for others next season. Or Seed Saver Exchange, which is a larger national group, but also there's smaller neighborhood groups that can form. This is almost worth the entire trip to Julian. Our little Julian library has a seed exchange. If you plan your trip for the first Friday of the month, you could listen to a free concert as well. The Burpee brand now carries some organic seeds. Notice the price, the organic certification, and the days to harvest. 74 days. This company, Pine Tree, is great for a smaller quantity packet, meaning home gardeners versus larger farms. This packet has only got 25 seeds. Good for a year. Notice that I have handwritten the date that I purchased this packet. The last frost date is very important, 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost. The depth of the planting of the seed is also great information. And this tomato is indeterminate. Southern Exposure Seed Exchange is this region. VFN means it is disease resistant. It has been improved by selection and not by genetic modification. This packet shows the Latin name. And then how do you feel about a drawing rather than a photograph? This indeterminate and determinate growth for tomatoes is important to know ahead of time. If you make pasta sauce, having them all come to ripeness at the same time is perfect. If you are growing for salad use, you want the time spread out. Indeterminate for salads, determinate for sauces. Indeterminate will need special support structures. It's good to the harvest dates if you are growing outdoors, less important if you have a greenhouse or sunny window in your home. Open pollinator, or OP, is often written on seed packets. It is good for genetic diversity. You save money if you collect your own seeds, which is not the case for the F1s. Open pollination is more how nature works. I also love that OPs give me the heirloom varieties that have different tastes than the store-bought varieties that choose storage and distance over taste. Oi! Hybridization is valuable in feeding lots and lots of people. They grow for uniformity, so it can be shipped easily. Vigor, so that the crops have high yields for profits. And consistency, so homemakers can know the taste of, say, 3 varieties, year to year and meal to meal, always the same. It's kind of controlled breeding. What? I had no idea. When you buy F1s, you won't get anything unusual in flavor. I love heirlooms and want to support future home farming. And yet, there are sometimes assurities are important. Ultimately, this is a personal philosophical choice. How you store seeds can be very important. Cool, dark location is good. Many have a designated refrigerator or shelf in their fridge. Some seeds need a chill. I have my own system based on what I happen to have. Cardboard and those plastic tilt-out bins for screws. I like to be able to grab the container and bring it to my seedling area in my studio. The downside is rodents. I mark the dates, but sometimes I can't toss them and give them another try. This can waste time, but I can't seem to help myself. There are very many seed starting styles. I like these plastic cells. They're a few inches deep, which gives a good root habit. They can be washed and used over and over. Soil must be warmed, sometimes with a heating pad. Sometimes it's a sunny window or near the wood stove. Make sure and label your seedlings. Top water until you have a few leaves, and then bottom water. In a tray with some gravel or soil, pour the water into it, which gets the roots to look for the water. So still with the idea of different ways to start seeds. The tray of the cells that I use must be tipped on its side, and the correct diameter rod must be pushed from the underside out. It's an extra step. Soil blockers must have very wet soil. I don't have a picture of this. You need to gather up a bunch of soil and then you compress by pressing down with this metal device. You have to have a place to put these blocks right away. They need to be close up together because crumbling can be a problem. Peat pots are easy, costly, and peat has become not very sustainable. We made some paper pots in class. When into the growing soil, greenhouse, or ground, they get some protection from bugs until the roots grow through. Before that, it can be a bit wobbly. Timing is important, and this is a fall-winter class. Nightshades should be started in January here in Warner Springs. I often think of our last frost day as Mother's Day. A plant should be a few inches, 5 inches tall by then. Then you get a good long season for production, as opposed to putting the seeds in the soil after the last frost. Gives you a little head start by having seedlings already grown. In class, we planted using the soil blocker, and the kids got the paper pots. I wanted people to know about the loofah, even though they're kind of hard to grow. They're good in the shower, they're good in the kitchen sink, and they can be composted. No need to purchase plastic sponges. These seeds must be nicked. They will need a trellis after a while. They are gourds. Nick who, you might ask? Nicking is taking off a bit of the seed, which is technically called scarification. The seed thinks it's being tumbled down a creek, meaning something brutally natural is being reproduced by you, so the seed germinates. You can use sandpaper, a knife. I have even used my teeth. Then make sure and soak the seed. This photo was taken from Grow It and Build It on YouTube. It's a great photo to show how much seed shell needs to be removed. I have the links in the sheet. And this is an example of the NOAA website and their frost dates. And this is actually you can do Warner Springs specifically, or any place else in the country. NOAA has a lot of information. Some people like the zone system. Farmer's Almanac claims a high correct rate. I have it easier with a greenhouse. There is also row cover fabrics that can protect plants a bit. Glass cloches are beautiful and historic. And the thing to really remember is that weather is unpredictable. If you think it might be getting cold, make sure and water your plants thoroughly and deeply. Then there's the cloth or the cloche too, but water is a great handy thing to use. Normally our class has a separate section for kids and adults. Usually when the kids arrive at 3, the adults disperse. In this class we made outstandings, just beads on wire, and we put them into the soil. This pic is taken from later in the season. The outstandings welcome young plants, encourage growth. They decorate, and when kids go back to the garden and see art they made, they feel more connected with it. Pause here and write this down. I also have the link on the links page as a separate document. Rodale is a fantastic resource, free on the internet. This is the end of the digital class. The actual classroom was full of dirt flying, wire boinging everywhere, and kids learning to use sharp and dangerous tools. Our classes usually have something to taste or drink. Consider replicating any of this at your home or community. This is Nina Karavaslis signing out.